Okay, so I think we are live on YouTube. So, hi all, welcome to episode 33 of the All About FPL podcast or stream. This is the final episode for game week, 38, right? And for the season, there is a
Yeah.
20 to 23 season. I mean, everything is wrapped up. The season is pretty much wrapped up for the teams that are in the top half, especially the top six. But the bottom three teams are, I mean, the bottom two rather than the three are the ones, whose fate will be
Fighting it.
decided on Sunday. So it's going to
Yeah.
be exciting to see. Maybe we'll have few picks from those teams rather than from the boring template. I mean, let's see. I mean, how this. I mean, where we're going to end. I'm so looking forward to you know season to end rather.
Not just you. I mean, it is the mood around most of the managers. I don't think anyone is particularly interested in any of these that we do. Particularly the ones who are having a bad season. You know, those really want to get over this and wait for the new season to start things fresh.
Yes. I mean, I was in a decent position. I think about till few weeks back. But then it took, I think, especially the Wilson Isaac place where the season turned in the wrong direction for me, and I just gave up after that week. I mean, it was pretty late for me to even turn things around because I was close to about uh, 140, odd K, and then it just went bang the wrong way. And I think I just want the season to end. I think if I finish somewhere,
See,
somewhere below.
looking back at those 50-50 decisions, it only aggravates your your pain. It is not a good sign at all to look back what we did or what we could have done instead of these moves. We could have gone to the other player and stuffs like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
as you told, it is good to move on and wait for the new season to start things, from the scratch.
Yes. I mean, before we completely go to that, let's look at what was Gaming 37. We did have a couple of surprising results. I mean, the first one was a Spurs defeat. Then we had a bit of City rotation. Then United
Surprising
thrashing
news.
Chelsea. Arsenal dropping points, and everything just changed uh, drastically. And Newcastle kept a clean sheet after a long time, and most of us benched Newcastle defenders. I started Trippier, but I had an 8 pointer. I think Botman sitting somewhere on the bench, but it's fine. So there's no point dwelling around talking about what are the things we learned from Gaming 37 because it's just 1 week, and for most of the teams the season is already over and they're just going to give other players chances at this point, and we're going
Yeah,
to see a lot
yeah.
of rotation. So I think bare
Oh, yeah.
minimum will barely touch around 50 odd points is what I think we'll expect this week. So that's with Gaming 37. But more or less, I think only three teams have a lot at stake at this point. So before we go to that, let's look at the transfer trends. Obviously, we have AJ topping with Palace, then Odegaard from Arsenal again because Arsenal have, I think, a good game. Kane, obviously, I think people are jumping from Haaland, and then we have still people are getting in Wilson and Salah just to end the season well if they haul. So that's the thing. But the transfer outs are not that surprising. Obviously, Martinelli is injured, Tone is suspended. Grealish is a doubt. Haaland, may play or may not. We don't know. And Pope is obviously
Haaland,
rolled up with a.
Haaland is a bit surprising. Probably it is people anticipating, more rotation since the league is done and dusted. Maybe due to that, but I don't see a reason why you have to rush to sell him out. He is still a good, you know, he has done it all season. Not just that, he's turned out to be a bad asset overnight or something. That's just knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, I mean, if we get news that he is probably benched or not in the squad or something, then you need to ship him out for Kane or someone. But if not, I don't think he's a So I mean, it's up to people. If they're bored of having him for 37 weeks, they might as well get
Yeah,
someone to play in the
yeah,
squad.
yeah. If you want to shake things up, if you want to go berserk on the last week, and of course, as you told, if you get some early bit of news, then yeah, it makes sense. So probably go with some fun changes. If you still have some chips left, let's say triple captain or a free hit, go for it.
So the pretty much straightforward. We have moves being made here at this point. There's nothing else to discuss. Let's look at gaming 38 fixtures. And as I was saying, particularly three important games we have. I mean, if we can count another one, it's Villa versus Brighton is an important game that will, uh, give Villa a chance to play in the
Yeah,
Conference League. So that's an important game. Then we go to obviously we have Everton versus Bournemouth. Everton need a win to survive. Leeds versus Spurs again. They are in the same boat. And then we have Leicester versus West Ham again. But the other way around is that Spurs also need to win and need to hope that Villa bottle so that they get a European spot that's in the Conference League.
exactly.
So, so we have very four important games in terms of a lot of things at stake. Other than that, I mean, we have Southampton, Liverpool. I think people will go for Firmino just for the sentimental sake, but we don't know what Klopp is going to do. He did say that he may, pick players based on such things, but we don't know. But I think it's pretty obvious he'll do that. Other than that, I think other than these four games, there's not a lot, right? We're going to see rotations in most of the other games.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for the rest of the teams, it is going to be a bunch of your school kids coming in, taking their debuts and whatnot. So that's pretty much what is going to happen. I think United is safe. Newcastle is safe. So those things are done. The top four slots are done. So I don't expect much over there. But otherwise, yeah, from a footballing perspective, Leeds and Spurs, as well as Villa, Brighton, Everton, Bournemouth, as you told, these games are going to be quite interesting. If you want to take bets, probably go with the likes of Kane. If you want to spice things up, ship out Haaland. If you get some early news, try bringing in Kane, captaining or triple captaining. Just have a bit of fun with it. That's what I would say. But otherwise, chill out, enjoy football. That's pretty much
Yes,
what I
chill.
would say.
I mean, let's quickly run through some of the games and some of the players that we could pick. Obviously, I think the next slide has a couple of players that I listed out that's been going around in the community, that's been posted constantly over the last few days, like just some punts or some different players to pick. I mean, obviously with Arsenal and Arsenal Wolves game, people, I think there are a couple of options. I think Saka uh, is back in contention. We don't know whether he's going to play or not. But I think pretty much if he's fit, he'll play in the final game, the final home game of the season. So I think we have Trossard and Gabriel Jesus as two interesting picks from there.
I
If
think
somebody wants
if
to take a
your
move.
slide has not moved, Aditya, I'm not sure. I'm still seeing
No,
the
no,
game.
so the slide has not moved. I have not moved
Okay,
it.
all right, fair enough.
So that's with one game, but I'll move the slide. So obviously we have a couple of players that's listed down. Obviously SA and Hudson Odoi just like straight punts. I mean, Eze has been playing well, so he's not a punt. He's a player who is in form, but unfortunately, he's picking up form at the wrong time. So we just have 1 week, and he'll probably haul. So if those who want to make sideways move from a Brighton midfielder, and you have a slot open, and you have the funds, and you want to go in, I mean, he's definitely a good shot because I think who Palace play
Yeah,
and
some interesting names here. For me is Jamie Vardy. He hasn't done much really. This season. It's not the Jamie Vardy that we know for the last few seasons or so. We don't know if this is going to be his last season at Premier League. You know, there's a good chance that they get knocked out, and probably his career is also coming to the fag end of his career. So probably one last push in a Premier League game. So that could be a fun thing to watch. because Jamie Vardy has given FPL managers a lot of memories, happy memories in terms of all the FPL points that he has brought. So Jamie Vardy is something which I'm really interested in. Given that I don't know where I would make the money to get him in. The other player is similarly Human Sun. He also didn't have a great season this time around. So these two names are something which stands out to me. Definitely, a punty option.
Yeah, so I was talking about Palace. So Palace play Forest at home. So I think Eze, Edward, and I think Awoni, I think three good picks from that game. I mean, you're just going to get in a different player at this point and just hope they give you points so that you can, climb once, at the end, more than having, template plays and you just don't move. This season, one of the biggest drawbacks is that everybody nearly had the same set of players. We were forced to have the same set of players to get those points, and in the end, you couldn't make any moves here and there. Towards
Yeah.
the end, we did have few different players, like I think Foden last week. I don't want to talk about Ederson. And then we had Foden and I think Wilson over the last few weeks and all. So those who probably I think made the moves on Wilson and all, I think might have made ground for a bit. Say similarly with Trent and all the other players. So other than this, there are a few other names. Obviously, Firmino. We'll see whether he starts against Southampton. I think he should start. So those who have maybe probably Isaac and all, I think will. I think I'm looking to ship Isaac out for Firmino.
How much
Just
is Firmino? Is around
Firmino's
8 million
eight.
ish?
Is eight.
Or is 8? Okay. All right. Yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense. But I'm not quite sure if he's going to get a start or minutes because he got that a 15-20 minute cameo at Anfield, a good send off, and I believe he did score or something. If I'm not wrong, did he score? He scored right last game week.
Yeah. He got a 7 pointer. That's what I know.
Ah,
So
yeah. Now I remember. Right, that was the Salah assist
he scored.
that we saw.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I think Firmino for me is done and dusted from a Liverpool standpoint. I don't see him starting. Maybe Klopp wants to finish the season strong, so he'll go with the preferred 11 and probably get him on as a sub for a few minutes. But yeah, worth the punt if at all if he gets the start.
Yes, I think we will get leaks somewhat. I think on
Yeah,
Sunday we are going to have
definitely.
a lot of problems because we're going to have
There's
all
going to
the
be
games at once.
there's going to be so
We're
much
going to
that you have to be very careful in finding out
who's posting what.
which is something that you can trust and which is not.
Yes, so Firmino is a option. If he starts, I think it's a move you should make. I think Kane is I think no doubt if Haaland is benched, then I think Kane is just a no-brainer. We'll see what happens with Kane, whether this turns out to be the last game for Spurs or he still ends up staying. Which you never know what will happen. Other than
I,
that,
I, I
Hyun-Min
wish I could draw some parallels with a certain IPL team, but I don't want to do that.
obviously we have Madison and Vardy, who I think they have a lot to play. I think Vardy and Madison both are good options for the last week. It's basically the last hurrah, whatever you want to do. I mean, just go for them. I think they have been playing well, but things have not been going their way at all this season. So, think and I think West Ham also defensively, I think in the middle are very shaky. So I think we'll see what happens with these two players, but good punts, I think, for this final week. Other than that, we have Yeremin and Tarkowski and Everton play Bournemouth at home. This is a typical, game which is completely written to me as a 0-0 all over. So, although statistically, Game Week 38 has always been high
Always,
scoring. I think there's an average
absolutely.
of around 3.8 goals every fixture or something over the last, I think, 10 years or so. So we'll see. I think I'll be surprised if Everton score 3 or 4 goals. That's not going to happen at all. But if we see quickly the table, Everton are 33 points, Leicester are around 31, and Leeds are around 31.
So, yeah,
So even though I think if Everton manage to draw, then still they're in trouble because Leicester's goal difference is slightly
huge. Yeah.
better.
I,
So if even Leicester win, Everton draw, they are going down. So I don't think they're going to take and go a nil-nil here at this point.
yeah, Everton, for Everton, it's a must-win game. If they lose or if they draw, then they are in trouble. They know that pretty much, pretty well. Yeah, same goes with Leicester. They have to win and then hope for the other games results to be uh, turned in their favor.
Yes, and then another place I think Dwight McNeil, but I think last game he played is some sort of left back. So that's why he's a bit. I mean, people are not talking about him a lot, but McNeil is definitely a good option. But if he again goes and plays in that particular position, we are going to, we're going to waste a slot. But he's someone who keeps on crossing the ball and he, takes some sort of set pieces here and there. So someone manages to head in, it's going to be one of Tarkowski or Mina. So that's how Everton are going to like purely rely on at this point. Somehow score a goal through a header. Just scrape a win. That's probably the what they'll be looking at, a 1-0 win or something. Somehow, everybody's going to lie on the pitch and block the balls. Anyways, that's with that. I think we've got a few questions here. Self Wilson to Kane slash Vardy.
Wilson, yeah. If you have the money, definitely. Kane is a no-brainer. If you have the money, and it's like the most preferred choice. If you want to have a bit of fun, then probably Vardy. But both teams
Hmm.
have things to play for, right?
Both teams have a lot. I think
Yeah,
I kind of feel a hunch that Vardy, not Kane, because Leeds also have equally a lot to play for in that game. And you're going to play against Big Sam and at away from home. So it's not going to be that easy for Spurs. So, but other than that, both are. But I think Kane has scored like nine away goals or something over in the final game week of every season. Some number is there for Kane that always keeps on helping him here. So I think whenever people rule him out, he does score. So he's definitely a good pick. But if you just go on to go differential where the entire crowd is running towards Kane, you can go for like Vardy and just hope for the best. I mean, this is the final ultimate week for you, for most of us to just as we were discussing, just get a different player, just see how it goes, and if it doesn't go well, you don't need to open the score and see the transfer they're just done for this season. Just look forward to the next season. Simple as that.
yeah.
Okay, we have another one. Is that like -4? Okay, I'm assuming this is Salah to Odegaard, McAllister to Barnes, and Isaac to Kane. Hmm.
Uh,
I
for a
wouldn't transfer
minus,
out Salah.
yeah, same. I wouldn't take Salah out,
I
and
think this is
even for,
purely to get in Kane. I think this is the only way to fund.
yeah,
So
maybe if it is to fund Kane, even if it is to fund Kane, it is it is too many moves. I completely understand the bets on Barnes and Kane for this week, but Salah would still be a pretty good choice. Pretty good captain choice as well. You know,
yes, indeed. So that's the reason I don't feel suggesting to ship out Salah. I don't. I mean, most of us have him for this reason so that we can differentiate our captaincy and go towards him or another player rather than going for Erling Haaland. So that's the option that we have him. So I think don't ship out Salah for this week. Obviously, just keep him and maybe just see if you can get two different players rather than Kane and Barnes with whatever fund is available. Okay, that's it. We just got two questions. If you have any more, please just drop it in the chat and we'll do our best to answer them. The last player is Rodrigo Moreno. Again, it's purely because Leeds have a lot at stake, and he's
yeah,
the only one player who has looked. decent in spells for Leeds throughout the season. Whenever he has played well, he has scored and Leeds have performed well. So a lot rests on him, and I think even Bamford is out injured. So obviously he's going to be the main man there. So again, it's a punt because if they bottle, they are out. So it's as simple as that.
But
Do you
there
have
was
any
a
other players?
um
Any other players?
not not really. Just going back to Rodrigo, there was a bit of yellow flag, if I could recollect. I'm not sure if there was any news on
It's
Rodrigo.
it's 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 still there. It's still there. The
Oh,
Prem
okay.
website. I mean, at the moment they have they have flagged him as a foot injury. So I just need to check the last update what we've got, because I think we still have few of the quotes coming in. Few of them were embargoed. Few we will be getting, I think, even tomorrow. So that's the thing. Let me
Yeah,
just quickly check.
that's the only thing to check probably. But otherwise, I don't really think there's too much to dwell on. Finding it could be any particular player this particular game week. It is usually tend to be an high scoring game week. So my only suggestion is stick to playing three defenders. Don't experiment with your four or five defenders this week, and put all your attackers into play.
So I just had a quick look regarding Rodrigo, and so the quote which is there on Premier Injuries is that both thing that's what Sam Allardyce said, that both Bamford and Rodrigo are struggling badly. So they are indicating that he'll probably have a late fitness test, so we're not sure. So just don't go. I think that's pretty obvious not to go for him. So I didn't realize that he was like completely like sort of ruled out player. But anyways, um, that's it. We've come to place to target. We've pretty much wrapped up 22 odd minutes because there's really nothing, and uh, we'll discuss something different in a bit. So let's look at our teams and just discuss something. Let's dwell a little bit off topic for the last few minutes. So this is your team, Suresh. Any players you're going to get in maybe for a hit?
I'm just looking at some punts probably. I know Fernandez has returned me 11 points, but I'm looking to ship Fernandez out this particular game week. Uh,
Okay.
that could come back to bite me, but I'm fine. I just want to have some fun because I can't really make funds anywhere else within my team. Probably if there is a bit of news on Haaland, maybe that's where I will go. Probably a Haaland to Kane or a Haaland to Wadi kind of a thing. But otherwise, Fernandez is my only cash cow in the entire team. So maybe over there to try and bring in some punts. But otherwise, I'm going to leave it simple and just move with that.
So who are you getting for Fernandez? Are you going to getting Sun or something somehow?
Yeah, that's the initial idea. You pretty much nailed it. So yeah, Sun is
It's
something which
obvious.
I'm sorry.
It was pretty obvious if you had this. He's the
Yeah,
only
yeah,
player people will go.
yeah. In a similar price segment of sorts, and a 1 week punt. You want to go with some fun options as the last game week. So that's something which I have in mind. But let's see how things pan out.
Yes.
But otherwise, I'm not.
Re- yes, yes. Please go on.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to stress it out, like, make do overthink and stuff. I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm around 300K, so I'm just going to finish it, try and finish it over there. That's all I want.
Okay. So regarding free hit team, there's one question. I think for free hit team, um, I think there's description. There's a link in the description that redirects you to the blog. So I think we have like two or three free hit drafts posted there. So that's the reason we are not covering free hit here, because it's something that very few of us have the chip. So we can refer to the blog. But in regards to that, briefly we touched upon the players to target. So if you make a team with at least maybe three, four of those players and the regular template ones. I think that should be the free hit team. This is basically that's how it's going to revolve around. Anyway, so let's move on to my team. It's for some reason this sticker at the bottom has not changed. Now it's reflected. Okay, so this is my team. Pretty much boring template one, and I am looking at Isaac to Firmino. That's my only sort of transfer that I'm looking to make. If I ship out Ishak, I have 8.7 in the bank, so I'm still thinking, what if Firmino doesn't start? Who do I go to? I have too much in the bank at this point.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, so I may probably end up going to Gabriel Jesus or someone. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Alvarez. I don't know. But for Man City, pretty much it's done and dusted. But Pep did say that he will play a decent, strong team. So we don't know. It's all going to depend on the moves that we plan all the way up till Sunday, and then 20 minutes before the deadline, everything changes, and we'll rush to get in different players.
and the site goes down.
The site will go down. Everything will happen. So, like I think keep maybe 4 5 moves prepared with a hit and
Yeah,
without a hit, and just trigger it at the end based on what we get. So I think that's our bus teams. And with regards to captaincy, so my captaincy is currently on a different player because I don't know whether Haaland is going to start or not. So it's purely based on that. So it's on Rashford.
yeah, mine as well. It is currently on Salah, and it could change, places depending on the news that we get primarily. So everything depends. The transfers, the captaincy, all depends on any team news, any team leaks that we might get. Otherwise, I might simply leave it on Salah and move with my rest of the team. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I believe there's not really much to break our heads into this particular game week.
Everybody's relieved that the season is over, right? Unless you are a
I
fan
am
of
I'm,
Spurs,
I'm for one the
Leicester,
season is come
Leeds,
to an end.
and Everton. Yeah, I mean, this was one of the most weirdest seasons wherein you couldn't make ground whenever you wanted to, and slightly if you deferred to go a bit different, you would get battered. That battering, I mean, is that if you don't captain Haaland, you do not have Haaland, and all those things, and the slight 50-50 moves were okay. That's part of the game, wherein you lose some, you win some, but you do end up making ground in those kind of choices and decisions. But one thing we've learned is that this year the template has more or less been very consistent. The same sort of maybe 4 or 5 players have uh, delivered in spells. Few players have just delivered consistently, and few have delivered in spells. That's how the game has worked. So I think this season is pretty much a write-off for most of us. Most of us struggled, but some of the managers, credit to them, they've somehow managed to scrape it uh, under that maybe top 50K, top 40K, top 100K, despite being around like 300, 400K, like 5 6 game weeks back. So credit to them that their moves and decisions paid off. And there are a lot of managers in the community who are ranked like 400, 500, and I think it's Harry and also been extraordinary managers. And yeah, it's been a very different season, right?
Oh
Very
yeah,
weird
definitely.
season.
Yeah, definitely. This is probably personally for me, this is my toughest season in the last 5 years. It is that kind of a season. As you told, if you are anywhere within the top 100 or top 200, it is still a very very good rank to finish your season. So don't be hard on yourself. If you had a tough season, that's fine. We are finishing this off, and in a couple of months we are going to start from scratch. So look forward to that, and just learn from your mistakes. As Aditya told, this season the template has been that strong, and more than the template for me, the captaincy played a huge role. At least personally, that's what I felt. I got battered, you know. picking Haaland in the wrong weeks and losing him out on the right weeks that he has scored heavy. So that's pretty much where my season went wrong. But otherwise, it is usually the mix of template and differentials that hasn't changed for me personally. If I had got those captaincy calls right, at least you know. Uh, let's say if 10 to 15 calls have been wrong, at least if I could have made 50% of that, I could have been in a better position. So it happens in this game. Luck plays a huge role. So don't be hard. Just enjoy the game, finish it on a high, and look forward to the new season.
Yes, indeed. I mean, I'm just waiting for the season to end. We need a slight break, and then we'll give,
Yeah,
we'll definitely regroup for next season. Next season we will have some better better things planned in terms of content and how consistent we are going to be. But other than that, I think the game itself also needs a revamp at this point because it's starting to get a bit boring, and there needs to be some sort of a differentiation that needs to be getting, whether it may be chips or rules or maybe just slight tweaking the point system so that on a larger scale, different set of players can also be picked. Not always picking the same set of players. Wherein I think we have been saying this for at least about a year or at least 2 years that the players like in the past maybe like Kante or now we have maybe Casemiro. They are
Casemiro,
they
very recent example. You know,
who are like pretty much worthless in FPL. But if you tweak the point system, maybe like for interceptions or some maybe keepers or something like that, the additional 1 point for every like 6 or 7 interceptions or something like that, that will start to, open up
add
some
a bit
things. I
of
think
more
that's all.
flavor. Yeah. You can
And
try working out things over there, but I'm hearing some rumors that there's going to be some bit of changes to the game. We're not sure how far this is true, but let's see. I mean, we towards the fag end of the season, we always hear such rumors, but I'm hoping that
nothing
it
happens.
is. I'm hoping that something changes, something there's a bit of minor tweaks to make spice things up, you know, so that it involves everyone, not just the boring templates, getting away game week after game week. If you bring such players, the central defenders or central midfielders rather, so if there is scope to bring in such players, yeah, that will really be make things interesting.
Yes, we just hope that they do something. Obviously, we have enough time for them, basically the Premier League and the FPL to improve their game, and we'll see whether they do that. But for now, we need to look at Game Week 38, and we definitely need to end the season the right way. Even if it doesn't go the right way, it's fine. The season is done and dusted, and we don't need to dwell upon it. So, with that being said, that's it. We are done for this 22-23 season. That's the Game Week 38 preview stream, episode 33. Yeah, we've been a bit inconsistent on the last few weeks. Everyone, most of us, we were busy and we had a lot of few things, uh, appear a lot of in our personal lives that has, impacted us. But it's fine. We're
True.
back, and next season we'll be back better, consistent, and we'll make announcements regarding those as in when we get closer to the start of next season. So that's it. I think that's what I have, to say at this point.
Yeah, that's you summed it up pretty well, and we are looking forward to the next season already, as eagerly as you guys are. So keep supporting us, and we'll look forward to more content. Providing more content.
Yes, that's it. Great. So, guys, those who are listening, go all guns blazing for Game Week 38. Get in the place you want. Have fun. Don't care about the rank, no matter where you end. It doesn't make any difference. Okay, just enjoy the game, and we'll see
Yeah,
you all. Maybe in case there may be a pot, not 100% sure. Maybe somewhere in between. Just looking, reflecting at the season and something else. In case if we feel like doing, if not, we will be back with maybe when the game is live for next season. So yeah, that's it from me. That's it from Suresh and from all of us here. Thank you for joining us for this entire season, most of us, and thanks for subscribing. We have touched our goal of 1K mark for this season, and we are hoping that we continue well for next season. That's it, guys. Stay safe. Have a great game week 38.
Fantastic. Thanks everyone. Bye.